What is up, guys? Welcome to the inaugural episode of a brand new podcast, the Alt Dab podcast, hosted by myself, Az, and my good friend here, Nick.
Hi, I'm Nick. Welcome to the Alt Dab podcast. We're here to just discuss video games and shizness, news of the day, what we've been playing. Enjoy. So, did you go away as I asked you to and play the prologue to Backbone?
I knew you were going to ask me this. Guess.
No,
Clearly,
you didn't. You obviously
Clearly,
didn't.
I fucking didn't do anything. No, I'm not going to lie. I've spent the last last 2 out of the 3 days prior to this just being drunk. So
You've done no preparation whatsoever.
I've done no preparation. I felt like the best way to prepare for this was to not to prepare. So
that works.
Yeah.
I mean, it might. We'll see. I also slacked off a bit. I was going to play Tales of the Neon Sea, but I didn't. I need to do that. That's still on my list.
I just need some bad drink everywhere because I was like, wow, we fucking started this right. Like,
but you have been playing other things. You've been playing like Days Gone and Risk of Rain and all that.
It's like, what have you fucking played? Nothing. I got drunk.
Whiskey.
Yeah, I played the Jägermeister game, and apparently I'm pretty good at that. So
3 days later, yeah.
Exactly, and then I woke up and realised that actually this game fucking sucks. I just stopped playing it immediately.
Well, if you ever want to like extend your alcoholism into the film noir private detective alcoholism, Backbone, check it out. But we can move on from that. It's a cool game. Give it a go.
What? I'm disappointed because I'm disappointed myself. I'm gonna say by next episode I'm actually gonna give it a go, and then I can momentarily just be like, oh, I liked that game, and I actually played it. So tell us a bit about it anyway. Like, obviously, people are now going to be like, "What the fuck is Backbone?" Like,
okay, yeah, fair enough. Backbone is it's an upcoming adventure game for which they've released just a demo prologue kind of chapter to it, and it's probably like 30 to 45 minutes. It's a dystopian, like not steampunky, what do you call it? Cyberpunky future.
Okay.
Except everybody's animals. So you play a raccoon who's a private detective. And then you go off on a little case, and that like kind of sets up the hook of the plot. But it's definitely worth your time and completely free, and yeah, it doesn't take up too much of your day. Give it a go.
Amazing. Who doesn't want to be a detective raccoon? Let's be honest.
I know, right? It's got really beautiful pixel art as well.
Yeah, that's one thing that I really liked about it when you mentioned it to me last week, is that like I really liked the art style of it and the fact that I was a detective raccoon. So
yeah, I mean, it's that kind of like half. It's not like low fidelity pixel art, it's not cheap pixel art. It's like that mixed media thing. Like it's got gradients and stuff to it,
Yeah, like this is a TV I'd want to play on my game. On my game? Oh, a TV I want to play on my game? I've fucking lost the plot.
Game you want to play on your TV?
That's a game I want to play on my TV. Yeah, fuck. See, we don't know what we're doing. I don't even know how to speak. So it's a game I want to play on my TV.
Well,
yes,
I don't think. I'm not sure if it's going to be coming to console. It's an indie release on Steam at the moment.
See, my PC is right next to the TV. It's all good.
Oh, okay, cool. You've got one of those Steam Machine hookups.
Yeah, well, kind of. I mean, in my living room is just like my living room is actually like a nerd cave. Obviously, you've never been to Colchester, so you've never actually seen.
And I never will.
Yeah, that's the upsetting thing. You probably never will. That hurts me a little bit, actually.
As long as you can vouch for my safety, maybe I'll come out there.
Oh, I don't know if I can vouch for that.
Yeah, especially not after this podcast.
Yeah, no, we might get abuse after this. So yeah, no, I can't do that. But anyway, yeah, my setup basically is like I've got my desk is like in the corner. There's like a little cubby to the side of where my TV is in the living room.
Nice.
So yeah, it's literally like right next to it.
Perfect.
So, there you go, podcast listeners. That's how I roll. It's just nerd sanctuary. But yeah, no, because like going back to the game though, like it just the art style and like the coloring of it and stuff. I mean, I'm fucking a nerd for like visuals and fucking my TV. I've got an OLED and shit. Like I love all HDR and stuff like that in games. And I don't know if this game has HDR, but it looks like it fucking should because like the way the lighting's done and stuff like that. Like there's a nice shot on the Steam store page where like he's stood outside the cinema and like the way it's all lit up and stuff like that is really cool. But like you say, it's like real high fidelity pixel art. It's like just looking at it, it's like it just looks beautiful. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. What you been playing? Anything else?
So yeah, I was gonna give Tales of the Unseer a go, didn't get round to it. I've been playing some My Time at Porsche, which is part of why I didn't get round to it, because that game is just the endless like dopamine hit of Stardew Valley. You know,
Yeah.
there's constantly something on your agenda for tomorrow, and the only way to save. I'm not sure. Actually, nine in Porsche, I'm not sure if that's the case. But from Stardew Valley, I'm in that habit of like going to bed to finish my day and be done playing. But then I'm already thinking about what I've got to do tomorrow. So then I wake up and I'm like, oh fuck it, one more day. You're there like 3 years later. You know, your family have left you.
I was gonna say, you know what's scary about it is I don't know if you're talking about reality or in the game now. Like it's a fucking complete cross.
Yeah.
What is real?
Yeah, it does just absorb you. Stardew got me a little bit more than My Time at Porsche, but having gotten to the end game of Stardew, and then it's kind of like make your own fun, and I'm like, no. So I needed something else to scratch that itch. Played through some Nautica. Like I've been through a bunch of crafty simmy games since Stardew Valley, and they're just you know, it's chasing that dragon. You know, it's like it's not Stardew Valley.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Did you play multiplayer on Stardew at all?
I haven't yet. No. Luca and I have been looking at doing that.
I was gonna say I haven't actually. Well, actually, I'll tell a lie. I tried it a tiny little bit when it released, but it wasn't for long because I said I'd play with Perry. Not that anyone on this who's listening to this is gonna know who Perry is, but who fucking cares? I said I'd play it with him, and like I think I went and got drunk or something that night, and I turned up super late, and by then him and like some other person he was playing with, had already built like a farm and shit, and I come on and was just like, yeah.
What do you want me to do? I'll dig any hole you want.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I just pieced out. I was like, you're already too far into the fucking game now, and I've just come in.
But that's something I want to talk about Stardew Valley's multiplayer, because that really bothered me. Is that, I mean, okay, you know, credit to ConcernedApe, the developer, because you know he's there just a one-man show with a publisher helping him out a bit, setting up multiplayer and that. But the way the multiplayer is being done is it's one person's hosting the game, and you can only be on the game when they're on the game. And that's like
that's it.
That's really shit to me because
that is real fucking shit. That's why I didn't like it because it pissed me off.
Did you ever play multiplayer Minecraft back in the day?
Yeah,
that was the shit, man. That was so great. Like 3 a.m. You log in, nobody else is on. You go and steal their shit, and you build your house like around their house, so their house is now inside of your house, just to confuse them.
Yeah.
Like that was so great. And you know, Stardew Valley kind of lacks that. You can't just plug and play. You've got to set up a time.
I didn't like, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Is I didn't like that I couldn't join their game and then just be brought up to speed. It was like my character was still behind the trend, so it was like, you know, I've joined in and I've got nothing.
You're just the
and
shit
I'm like, I've got a fucking shit spade or something. Like I can't do anything. Like what do you want me to do? I'll stand in a fucking house and like, I don't know, pick my arsehole or something.
It's the same with any MMO. Like if your friends are playing an MMO, they're like, come join us, and you join it, and you're like, I'm in the MMO, guys, and they're like, great, now get to max level, and you're like, fuck you.
Now get geared, fuck boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
they're like, we'd help you, but we've got to go do stuff together, and you're like, why did you make me download? I paid money. No.
Why did I fucking do this?
I had to sacrifice all of my personal pride and integrity to download Elder Scrolls Online, and you do this to me.
I feel like this is real personal to you.
No,
right now.
I've never played Elder Scrolls Online. I've been thinking about it.
Dude, do you know what? I keep thinking about it as well. I had it on launch, and then like now, apparently it's actually really fucking good. Because on launch,
this, but I'm thinking that might be just the backlash against World of Warcraft at the moment. I think loads of people are like looking for MMOs that are scratching the itch that WoW is just.
It's because WoW fucked the whole market up because it's like we are ultimate, the end, and it's like, you know, since then no one else has fucking even been close, really.
Not even, but that's the thing. They don't have to win. Like, you know, at the end of the day, as long as you can be profitable, that's fine. But
yeah, exactly. I mean, like, you look at Final Fantasy 14 and stuff, like, you know, that's still thriving, and ESO is kind of thriving now. So
yeah, and Black Desert Online's been doing well for a while, although not that well anymore. I think there are other games.
I think that's kind of like shit the bed a little bit. I don't know totally because to be fair, I'm way out of my depth when it comes to MMOs. So I just sort of go from like the popular news that with MMOs, but I don't see much of that around Black Desert anymore. I remember when it launched, it was free and stuff like that, or really cheap.
I
Or
think
whatever.
most of the popular news around Black Desert Online were the people using the character creator to like make likenesses of porn stars.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that was there was a meme culture surrounding it. I started playing it for a bit, but I was so bored. I was like, this is really highly rendered.
I heard the grind was fucking real because it had that
yeah.
whole thing, didn't it, where you could just like leave it doing shit when you were away from your machine.
Yeah, and that was shit. At the time, I didn't have a desktop. I was between computers. I was using a laptop, and I was like, do I want to leave my machine like churning out these incredible? Like it was a good laptop, but you know it's still going to overheat, and I didn't want to leave it while I went to work or went to the shops or did anything running that game because it would set my house on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's the most high fidelity game MMO of the time. So it's like you got 500 perfectly rendered anime cat girls running around your character AFK fishing. Your computer's going to set fire.
Yeah, exactly. That's a house burner, literally. Like it's it's a fucking death trap. Wow, we tangented hard.
Yeah.
There.
I mean, I have been playing WoW, so it kind of loops back in.
Oh, okay.
Which is
so you're still on that? Like, do
do
tell, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm out of that whole fucking world. So
basically, like the news came out a few days ago, actually, which was apparently Blizzard has lost across all of its games like 8.5% of its players, which is doesn't sound like that much, but it's quite significant. It is quite a lot when you think about like profit margins. I mean, it depends where those people are leaving. If everybody's leaving Overwatch, then who gives a shit? Because nobody's spending money on Overwatch, really. It's skins. But like, if that's from Hearthstone, which is a giant cash grab, or from World of Warcraft, which is like the consistent moneymaker for Blizzard, then that's like big news, man. That's a huge amount of value lost.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's been so much news constantly about the latest expansion for WoW being shit, and when I hadn't played.
See, I thought it was good. Well, I heard it. Well, I thought it was good. That's not the correct terminology. I heard it was good from people who I know who have played it. But obviously, that might have just been launch time hype, where of like, oh, it's new stuff and it's great and I fucking love it, and then like that just dies out.
So when you got to that end game and you finished all of like that launch content, it was like one of the longest patch cycles before the next set of content came in the entire history of WoW. Like, it was a big gap, like between release BFA and the next big chunk of content. So people got really like bored and apprehensive, and then there's been a huge gap between the last patch and the one coming. And everybody's talking about how the one coming is going to fix it all and make it all better. But I'm just like, oh man, do I want?
I feel like that's fucking every game now, though. It's like, oh, the next patch will make it fucking
great.
We're
all just like fucking abused spouses just crawling back, like, like, oh no, they said they were sorry about the microtransactions and the loot boxes, and we forgive them because they've got a new raid. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Not to make light of domestic violence, but just gonna call myself out on that one before anybody else gets to it. Shit.
Oh God! I already love this podcast. We're not even halfway through an episode, and
we're 13 minutes in. Great. All right.
Yeah.
At this rate, we'll have at least like.
No, that's not true, people. We've done an intro and stuff before. Oh.
Right.
Oh God, we can edit that.
clap for the edit note. I don't think it's going to show up.
Oh fuck it, whatever, can stay. Whoever, whatever. It's Comic Valley, really. Oh, all
right.
Christ.
You had some other games you were looking forward to playing though. What else have you been doing? What have you been doing?
I've in between like falling down a pit of self-despair and alcoholism. Apparently, that I have been playing Days Gone. Not as much as I'd liked, but I won't lie, it didn't grab me, which is probably not surprising to anyone who's probably listening to this, because if you saw any of the critical response to that game, it wasn't really touted to be amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, a lot of the critics seem to just slate it off the bat, but a lot of players seem to have enjoyed it well enough. Like, they're kind of like, it's a good experience. Like, it's not terrible.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was one of those games that, to be fair, a 6 is probably about right. Even though 6 sounds low, And that sort of seemed to be like the common score that I saw.
Is it like it's a genuine 6? It's an earnest 6 without any bullshit.
Yeah, like a genuine 6. Not like trying to be like a fucking asshole about it or anything, but like it's actually like, in comparison to other stuff that's out, it's definitely a 6. Like it's just you see the caliber of game that's sort of come out over the last couple of years, especially from Sony. You know, being a PlayStation exclusive, and like the caliber of games they've released, like Spider-Man, God of War, fucking I don't know, Persona's an exclusive to them. Loads of shit that is exclusive to that console tends to be pretty fucking golden, right? And then this comes along, and you know there was so much hype behind it when it was first.
Oh
announced,
the early like gameplay demos were incredible, just thousands of zombies clawing over machinery towards you. But from everything I've seen of gameplay, is someone just like walking around and finding a child zombie and stabbing it in the neck. Like it's not, it's not.
Yeah, it's a bit underwhelming actually. It's like I'm just killing zombie children all day, and I feel like I'm just killing.
It seems as if they took a survival horror.
Zombie children.
They took a survival horror and they were like, "How do we make this Far Cry?"
There's a great pretty much like it's a nice big open world, but yeah, there's a lot of just like, no pun intended, but a lot of just dead space, like where it's just okay, I'm just riding around on my motorcycle, and then like all of a sudden there's a great clip of it actually on my Twitter that I retweeted, of just like some guy was just strolling along, and then all of a sudden like he could hear a horde, but it wasn't there. And then next minute, it just spawns in on top of his fucking head.
Like the game's like, oh, sorry, we meant to put that in there.
Yeah, shit. There's meant to be a horde here. Like, here they are on your fucking head. So, you know, like, how am I going to escape
Have fun
this?
with that.
And like the few hordes that I've seen in the few hours that I have played of it, are just like they're just so easy to escape. It's like I'll just run to my bike, I'll just get my bike, and I'll just fuck off.
That's the other criticism I've like leveled frequently is the bike. It's like it's so boring traversing the landscape. The only way to enjoy it is to be on your bike, and your bike needs refueling near constantly.
Fucking legit. I mean, I'm just like I'm very early in the game, so my criticisms can be probably taken a little bit of a pinch of salt because I'd have to come back again after I've played more of it. But so far, you're fueling your fucking bike up, and the thing is, everywhere is so steep. Like the world is so steep. There's just fucking hills everywhere.
So they've gone, oh, we're going to give them a bike and they can drive around. That'd be great, but only here.
Yeah, only on fucking hills. Because you know where bikes are really good? On hills. Who fucking said what? What world is this? Why have you done this to me?
Yeah, it should have been played in a desert.
So yeah, like you'd be like. Yeah, pretty much. But like you're riding around on your bike, which is like great. But obviously, where there's hills everywhere, you're just constantly holding the fucking brakes. You don't like just crash into a tree and die, because obviously it's all in woodland and stuff like that as well. And it's like, why the fuck am I on a bike right now? Where's the 4x4s? Why am I a biker? Why do I care about being a biker? The world has fucking ended. Why am I still a biker?
Why is this identity important to me at this point?
Yeah, exactly. So like, what the fuck? My wife's dead. Spoilers.
Oh shit.
It happens right at the start of the game. Anyone who fucking complains about that, she might not even be dead.
That might be a spoiler. That might
be a dead. She might not even be dead. I don't know. You kind of just don't see her anymore. This is right at the beginning of the game. She just goes on a helicopter, and you assume she's dead.
That's the twist. I imagine they're like, and she's back, and she's.
That's probably the twist. And then she'll be back, and she'll be fucking some other biker, and that's why I still care about being a biker, because there's a bigger biker than me who is fucking my wife, and I think
the classic Greek narrative of biker cuckoldry. Obviously.
Exactly. So that's why the theme of biker is like flowing through this game so heavily. Do you know what else pissed me off about this game? I'm just going to throw this out there, right? This fucking like AAA budget game, and have you seen the box art to it? Like real petty. Have you seen the fucking box art? The box art is so shit. Like, it's just him just sat on the floor next to his bike. It's fucking awful.
Let's have a look.
You got zombie hordes, and I'm just sitting there chilling in front of my bike.
Yeah, what is this? Sorry, this is terrible. And he's like death staring the camera, like with a pistol. Like also he like if he's got his pistol out and he's behind that bike, that's like him taking cover as a horde of unarmed zombies rush him. Get on the bike.
Really
get out of there.
The graphics look terrible on that box art as well. That looks like a pre-rendered PS2 fucking CGI
Yeah, it really does. It honestly looks as if they had two different pieces of art, right? They had him like on the floor, like, with the bike, right? And with like a tree in the
Mhm.
background, and it was just going to be like, Days Gone,
Yep.
look how eerie and mellow this is. And then they were like, there's zombies in the game, we'll throw them in as well. Like, we'll just pile them in the background.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Terrible.
it's just fucking
Shade.
so bad. Yeah, real. That's real bitchy of me, and I mean, like, yeah, shady as fuck. But I don't care. The box art's awful. They should have reconsidered that. So yeah, I'm not huge on it. I reconsidered it when I saw the reviews. I was actually like, I could just send this back. Like, I could just fuck this pre-order off.
Oh no,
But,
you pre-order.
it came through the.
No,
Yeah,
I have to
no,
disavow
well,
you.
I pre-ordered. Oh, dude, it's just because I was like, I want this fucking game. It looks great.
And you were really worried they'd run out of digital distribution codes. What?
No. But I was just like, I want it on launch day, so I just fucking ordered it, and I'm lazy. I don't know.
Did you
Fuck
pre-download
knows. I
it
should
and
have
play it
cancelled
on
the
launch
order.
day?
No, I had it. No, it's a physical copy. That's how I knew about the box art, because I got it out of the fucking packaging, and I was like,
Okay,
what is
so
this?
you got
What?
then how many hours of day one patches did you have to go through before you were allowed to play the game?
I don't know. I'm actually quite fortunate. I have really speedy internet where I live.
All right.
So like stuff like that is.
Moral of the story:
pretty
don't
chill, but
pre-order
yeah.
ever anything.
Don't fucking pre-order anything.
Yeah.
No, don't do that unless you're absolutely like dead certain you're gonna want it. Like if Halo fucking Infinite got
No,
a pre-order
not even then. No
tomorrow,
excuses. I'm like so not about this.
I,
I'm like
you're completely against the whole pre-order.
I'm completely against it. Yeah, 100% against pre-ordering. I think it's like it's a stupid culture. Like I know it benefits publishers because then they can count like an X amount of guaranteed sales before they finish the game.
Mm-hmm.
But
oh yeah, of course.
I don't give a shit. Like as a buyer, like you haven't finished the product, and you're being like, "Do you want to pay me for it?" I'm like, "No, fucking build the fence." Like,
Yeah.
When the work is done and I can make an informed decision, then I'll buy it. I'm not paying up front for something you have no idea about. Silly.
Yeah, it's where they get you on like sites like cdkeys.com, because they'll do stuff like £10 to £15 cheaper, like months before a game will release. And then when the game releases, it's
Or even more
insidiously
insidiously is when they do like exclusive DLC for pre-ordering. So it's like if you pre-order, you get extra missions, and it's like that means they've made this extra content and then removed it from the game. Anyway, not about it.
No, to be fair, I can't say shit, because I do pre-order, but I normally only pre-order on dead certs, and I thought Days Gone was gonna prove me wrong, and then it came out and it fucking proved me right, and I was like, oh god, I have fucked up.
Last I pre-ordered.
Actually, that's twice Sony's fucked me. When the order 10 was it 1066 order 10 or 1866, whatever the fuck it was, 1066 Battle of Hastings, I know, but. That game,
yeah.
Do you know what I'm about?
1812.
Yeah, it was 1886. We're all fucking wrong. There's dates. I don't know. There's numbers. There's
Cronenberg, 1776.
That game fucking got me as well, because I pre-ordered that because I was like, "This looks amazing." And it was
I remember the director of that defending it, being like, "We're going to make it 24 frames per second, so it's more cinematic," and just being like, "Oh, right."
Go to fucking sleep with that shit. Like,
it's such bullshit. Like we're not playing a movie. We are playing a video game. Go away.
Yeah, fucking Jesus Christ!
What else have you been playing?
Bad as Peter Jackson. Oh no, I'm tangenting. What else have I been playing? I've actually been revisiting Borderlands 2.
Oh shit, man! Have you seen the controversy about that?
What, that Borderlands 3 is Borderlands 2?
No, Borderlands 3, like the voice actor and the assault.
Oh, the assault? What? No.
Yeah.
I've been in a drunken blur for a time.
3 days, and this is all developed in that time. So
yes.
Basically, like the voice actor for Claptrap.
I have heard about this. Just to clarify, I saw yesterday that he tweeted that they owed him a fucking load of money, and they fucked him off. That's as much as I know, though.
Right. So yeah, he basically claimed that he was owed like $12 million or something like that.
$12 fucking million for voicing Claptrap.
Well, it was something to do with him leaving the company and some like unpaid royalties. Like there was some kind of word of mouth agreement that he was gonna whatever. I don't want to go too deep into it without having anything right in front of me on the matter. But the CEO, Randy Pitchford, went for him on Twitter being like, nah, Like, this is just a difference of opinion and an internal matter. And he's come back and gone, yeah, like, you assaulting me in a hotel lobby, and like thrown that out there.
Holy shit! Yeah, I've got the article up. Yeah.
Hold on, let's find it.
Yeah, so the voice of Borderlands Claptrap, David Eddings, is going public with allegations of abuse and underpayment against Gearbox and its CEO, Randy Pitchford. The allegations, which have drawn partial denials from Pitchford and company spokespeople, open up a new front in some messy PR and legal battles for the company and its corporate leader. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So, fuck.
So apparently the tweet said, he claimed that Pitchford had physically assaulted him in the lobby of the Marriott Marquis Hotel in San Francisco in 2017, and that Pitchford siphoned away $12 million of revenue from the employee royalty pool. So there was meant to be a royalty pool for employees. That's what the money he thinks he's missing, he's owed, because he voiced it for free, because I think he was just another employee at the company at the time, and they liked his voice. So there was some royalties that he felt he was owed from the royalty pool. And then he left, and there was no royalty pool, so there's now an investigation, basically.
Oh shit! Fuck.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, and this is like, hot on the heels of them announcing on their live stream on stage, like, oh, there'll be no loot boxes or microtransactions, and getting a round of applause for that. Like, it's groundbreaking. Yeah. We live in sad times.
Like, yeah, we do. I mean, when fucking companies are having to come outright and be like, "Oh, we're not putting any fucking loot boxes in or anything."
Yeah, and that people are genuinely appreciative of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the standard anymore. Like, it's alien for us now to have just a clean game with no bullshit.
You know why it's gonna have no fucking loot boxes or anything, though, right? Because it's probably still gonna have like a fucking $50 fucking season pass attached to it, because like every Borderlands has had like 8 DLC packs.
And it's so funny. Like, I don't know, I've been following gaming pundits and whatnot for years, and back in the day I remember them complaining about season passes and map packs, and oh, the DLCs now are getting egregious, and everybody being like, fuck off, it's fine. And they're like, no, but do you see what this means? Like, this can go further, don't accept it.
Yep.
Same thing with pre-ordering culture, like the late great Total Biscuit used to rant about all of these things. And slowly, every single prediction they made early in their careers, like not in their careers, but early on in this whole cycle, has come true. And now it's to the point where it's like, they literally are putting gambling in children's games. And everybody's like, exactly. How did we get here? And it's like, because you allowed it. Because we bought these games and we bought the stupid fucking loot boxes.
Well, that's the thing now as well. It's like, it's gone too far. It's like, it'll probably never go away now.
Well, no, they are kind of winding it back, but they're replacing it with this quote-unquote live services, which is the biggest piece of shit like business model of all time. Because it's crazy, because you're buying a one-off payment, right? So you're buying a video game when you buy a live service. You're not paying a subscription like you are with an MMO like WoW.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you should have an expectation of a product that you can then own. That's not a licensed subscription you're paying. You should be able to have access to that software forever. But because it's server based, you don't. They can withdraw that at any time. They can just close the servers down. You can never play your game again, and that's mind-boggling to me that that's allowed.
It's fucking crazy. Well, that's what happened with that. What was that shooter? The Cliff Bleszinski shooter. Oh fuck! It got shit canned real hard.
What? Right.
Oh,
hold on.
Fuck.
Was it Rage or something?
What? I can't remember. It was very Overwatch-esque. I can't remember its name. It was Bleszinski failed game.
Oh god, I'm gonna Google this as well.
This is really annoying me. LawBreakers. That's it.
I remember hearing about this.
Yeah, that was the same with that. Like, people bought that game for like 30 quid or whatever the hell they paid for it. And then the servers went down, and then that's it. You can't ever play that again. You paid £30 for nothing.
And that's the thing. Because it wasn't a subscription-based game, you had the reasonable expectation that you would have that game forever. Because it was a price to own, one-time purchase. Right?
Yep.
So it's like, I don't understand how these kinds of things aren't fraud, like how they're not being banned. Because it's just, it's weird to me. I don't get how that's allowed, unless you provide some kind of usable modding tool to launch your own private servers for the game, so that you can say, hey, let's go play LawBreakers and run a private server with your mates. Like, that would be fine, but they don't. Or at least if they
You think,
do,
like, it'd be
you
like,
need a programmer to run it. That's a
well,
whole other
yeah.
issue.
But like, it's like back in the day though. It would have been like Quake, like back in the day. Like, you know, I mean, obviously you'd play that locally, you play it on a land, whatever. Like, why couldn't LawBreakers have been the same? Like, why can't I go to LawBreakers now? You probably could boot it up, but you can't do anything with it. I'm sure there's some modders that are maybe done something like
Well,
that.
this is why the Call of
But-
Duty, the whole shooter community has always been really up in arms with PC games for having dedicated servers. It's a fundamental aspect that shooter like aficionados and enthusiasts have always wanted, and they've completely like abandoned games that go full matchmaking console port because they're like, we're not buying this game unless it has unless we have dedicated server options, because that means the game can survive the death of the company. Anyway.
Fuck.
Mental.
We're good at tangents.
Did you play any? Yeah, we go off on these big spiels, but that's kind of good. Like, that's a big news of the day thing.
It's topical.
We can tick off the
people
list.
know our opinions on it. It fucking sucks, and they should stop it.
Do you want to do one more news story?
Go for it. Yeah, if you go for it. We did say.
I've got one.
We did say at the top of the podcast, like, we were talking about the news of the day, and we didn't have any news prepared. So you obviously did. I didn't.
I've stumbled across some stuff.
You kick it off. Well, actually, don't kick it off. I need to let my cat out. It's really unprofessional. Just 2 seconds.
Go on,
Bruce,
go let your cat out.
You can leave. Go. Run. I told you we didn't know what we were doing. The cat's gone. It's all good.
I could hear that little moment where the cat was unsure of whether or not it was going to leave, and you were
yeah.
like, you made a face at him, didn't you? Like a snarly face, and he was like, "Oh shit, okay,
no." Like, get the fuck out! You're like running around the room, like as if I want to fucking escape. And I open the door, and he looks at me like I'm a piece of shit. Like, why do I want to leave? And it's like, you wanted to fucking leave.
Stop scratching at the door.
Get the fuck out. Sorry about that.
No worries. Good old
he
Bruce.
was becoming an annoyance, so he had to go. He had to be kicked out.
Do you have a separate keyboard? Like a second keyboard?
A second keyboard? No.
Yeah, apparently this has become a thing.
What?
Like, PC gamers, they have a second keyboard they set up like next to them so that their cat doesn't sit on their hands. Yeah, so apparently this works. Like, the reason the cat sits on the keyboard is because they think it's spending time with you. They want to be involved with whatever you're involved with. So if you have a second keyboard, the cat will sit on that instead of interrupting your gaming time.
I did not know this.
I'm like, if I had a cat, that would be the greatest. And that worked.
I don't need to do that because Bruce is well behaved and he doesn't get on my keyboard. And plus, if he wants to sit with me, he has a little bean bag. I'll drag his little bean bag and he sits next to me. I know it's really sad, but it might be cute. Who knows?
I'm gonna need photos of that.
He's my little floof. Just sits with me while I'm playing games.
Very good.
Yeah. So news. That was a thing. What was the news?
Yeah, news. So, have you heard anything about Games Workers Unite?
I feel like I have, but I'm slightly disabled. And as soon as you say it, I'm like, oh yeah.
Right. So there's been this big movement in the video games industry recently over the past few years to unionize. Yeah. Crunch has been a big topic that has led to it all. But there's a huge effort to unionize the game industry at this point. And I think it's great. Like, I'm very pro-union. So cool with that. And they're also, this article is to do with them. They're investigating on the behalf of employees at Quantic Dream sexual harassment and sexual
I heard about
assaults.
this. I did hear about this.
Yeah, so like last year there was Quantic Dream lost a court case to an employee where there was something to do with that employee being like saying there was a toxic work culture there, and they won their case. So it's already like kind of enshrined in history that they've got a toxic studio culture, and that includes like allegations of homophobia and racism, like serious shit, Yeah. So that obviously happened a year ago. So now you have this kind of issue where, like, on behalf of workers at Quantic Dream, there's a French magazine, I think, that's involved, or a French news organization, as well as the gaming union, Games Workers Unite.
Yeah,
getting involved.
French union
try and go for this.
Solidaires Informatique. Apparently, is who is. No, I don't know if I pronounced that right at all. I was just looking at an article about it.
it was an honest effort.
I said
I don't know how to pronounce it either, so I'm not going to correct you. But yeah, I can believe it, to be honest.
I
Have
was
you ever
gonna,
played
do you
any
know
of
what,
the game?
it's like you read my fucking mind. I was just gonna say, if you've played any of their fucking video games, I can fully believe it. Oh,
Yeah, you every especially if you ever
as you
played
say,
Heavy Rain, the sex
as you
scene
say, it
in that.
screams, "I beat my wife." Their games, basically. Domestic abuse is a big topic on this episode. Good lord.
Yeah, I
Oh
know. Ugh.
Christ, it's
But
disgusting. Don't do it.
did you play Heavy Rain?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So the sex scene in Heavy Rain is the most. I don't know if there's different pathways in that game where you can avoid this in any way, but the sex scene in that game is so
Yes.
awkward. Like I'm like, who directed this?
Who has sex
Like,
this way?
yeah, it's like in a motel room between two people with no chemistry who have had all of 12, 2 or 3 conversations at that point and shown no interest in each other whatsoever.
Yep.
And then they're just kind of just on each other, and it's like press X to touch boob, and you're like, what? What happened? Like, there's no chemistry to it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can believe it. I can believe these allegations.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh.
But yeah, it's all pretty dark shit.
No, I had seen it. I think I'm not gonna lie. I saw it as a headline earlier on today, but I've had a crazy fucking day at work. I'm pretty sure I saw it on Reddit earlier on. I was kind of like, oh, that's fucked up. But yeah, I thought the same then of like, oh, this is Quantic Dream. Play their games.
And Riot Games also had their walkout for similar reasons.
Yeah, well, like 150 employees or something.
Yeah, no, credit to them, man.
Yeah.
Credit to every single person at Riot Games taking part in that walkout. Because do you know what that's about?
I don't actually know what it's about. Again, it's just I saw the headline earlier today. I've literally had no time to exist. So, yeah.
So basically, what Riot has basically done is they've contractually obligated their employees not to take anything, any internal matters to court or anything like that. So, in cases of sexual harassment or someone getting discriminated against or any kind of interpersonal matters between employees, they're not allowed to take that outside of the company.
Wow.
And it's a system called forced arbitration, which is where they're forced to sit down, victim with offender, and talk it out.
What?
Yeah. And then as a result of talking that out, the premise of this, right, and the shiny banner Riot Games would probably want to put on it is that they're going to 100% be on the side of the victim and they want to sort it internally. And then they'll obviously fire the abuser. But this is obviously a way of protecting staff.
Yeah, well,
protecting abusive staff that Riot just happens to value more than the victim, so they can quietly sweep stuff under the rug. So I mean, just credit to everybody at Riot for walking out.
Saying this is fucking bullshit and Jesus, that's
sack off all of
fucking that. Nazi level shit. What the fuck's that all about?
No, that's really common, man. Forced arbitration is it's all over the place.
Really?
All over the place. Yeah,
I live a sheltered life. Oh god, yeah. Fuck, that's fucked up. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it's
just fucked up even more is that shit's happening in their company clearly, and people are like, no, we can't live like this.
Yeah, that it's a big enough issue for that many employees to take a stand as well, because they're not unionized, right? And the thing with once you're unionized, then you're even if you're obligated to take part in union activity. Otherwise, you just forgo your union protections.
Yeah.
Your membership, So every single person there has chosen to take that stand. That's not.
Yeah, well,
them being forced to.
It takes fucking balls as well, because those people are at risk of losing their jobs for that shit as well. I'm sure.
Well, I mean, Riot Games is, I think, majority stake owned by Tencent, which is a giant Chinese
company. Yeah.
That owns half the games industry now, it seems.
Yeah, they've got their fingers in a lot of fucking pies. That company.
Yeah, which is obviously scary, considering that legally in China, any company has to operate on behalf of the state if requested to.
Yes, exactly.
So that's just
I'm scared.
If they ever go to war, we're all losing our WoW subscription.
No.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Anyway,
that's a real that's a heavy fucking topic, guys. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, so it's dark news of the day.
Yeah.
It's just going through it. There's just a bunch of dark shit going on recently.
There's a lot of dark shit going on in the fucking world, and that's why we have video games to forget about the dark shit. Apart from when our
Or
video
to
games are
really
being made by
indulge in them.
people who are fucking producing dark shit in
Or
reality.
when you, or when you want to play, like The Last of Us, and then you're like, it's not dark enough in my
Yeah,
life. I
yeah,
need to go
exactly. Yeah, I don't need a light in my life. I need more darkness. Give me it.
This is the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. You ever see that video?
No.
Oh my god, I've got to share that with you after this.
Okay.
We can edit this bit out.
No, but I don't think we should edit any of this. I've enjoyed this. It's been nice. I don't know what else do you want to cover. Like we've gone 40 minutes.
I don't know,
They can
man.
hear timestamps. I don't give a shit. Like, it's fine. They've got
Uh,
timers on their podcast apps. I know
I've
how
got a
deep
little
they are.
notepad here. So we've done Days Gone. Did you want to say anything about Borderlands? I mean, obviously,
Oh,
in their
yeah,
CEO
wow, we
assaulting a
tangented
voice
so
actor.
hard, I didn't even speak about Borderlands, like, even a little bit. It was like, I've been
Yeah,
playing
I was
Borderlands.
just
Oh,
like,
by the
oh
way,
my
did you know Randy
god.
Pitchford is a fucking asshole? Oh, God. Well, aside from him doing anything that he might have or might not done, I'm assuming. To be fair,
Allegedly.
just to say, that dude's a douche. I remember he behaved like a bit of a douchebag when they released that fucking Aliens game years ago. Do you remember
Oh
that?
yeah, was that him?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah.
He was like. Obviously, he's been like their head dude for however long. And I remember he got real bitchy that people didn't like it back then. And it was like, fuck you, dude. That you like promised everybody a game that you did not make, and it was a
Yeah.
big pile of shit. So
They completely missold that. That was like the biggest case of bullshot of all time. Like up
dude.
until Anthem, that was the biggest case of bullshot.
Yeah, legit bullshot.
Yeah, bullshot. Have you never heard that term?
No.
It was coined by Penny Arcade guys.
Oh,
Bullshot.
okay. Fair enough.
So it's just shots that are bullshit.
Oh, good. I'm fucking. You're gonna teach me things. I feel like I feel like I know nothing when I talk with you. It's gonna be great. Everybody can just listen to
I'll
me
write
learning.
up a curriculum.
Yeah, do it. So every episode I don't sound like an idiot. And you're like, have you heard of this? And I'm gonna be like, I don't fucking know.
We'll rebrand like a few episodes in. It's like, welcome to the educational alt-ab podcast.
Well,
for
we teach
kids
Az.
who want to know about
We teach
video
Az about
games.
nerddom for 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and abuses of the industry.
Yeah. Fuck. Oh god. Anyway, we tangented again. Borderlands. I will say about Borderlands real quick. It's coming out soon. No, I'm just.
Yeah, I never got into Borderlands 2. I heard it was good once you got past you'd done like a new game plus.
Yeah, well, not even that. Like replaying it, it's like when you get past. I want to say when you get out of the snow is when it gets good.
Yeah, so I
So-
remember that whole section of the game and being like, this isn't for me.
Do you know what? It's real. I don't know what it is about it. It's not even. It's probably not even that. It's just that it's not. Obviously, not that it's snow. Snow isn't just like inherently fucking boring or anything like that. But like just the area, just the quest you're doing at the start of the game and stuff, and like it feels like such a fucking drag, man. Such a drag. Like the good missions sort of kick in after about I don't know. I want to say probably like level 15 or something like that. And then you sort of go into different areas and shit, and you sort of go into the Badlands and get different vehicles and blah blah blah, and the world starts opening up a bit. But like that snow area at the start, I don't know, it just feels like a drag.
Waste of time.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but yeah, I've been replaying it just because it was fucking £4 on the Argentinian Xbox store, and I'm a cheapskate. And yes, I use the Argentinian Xbox store. So what? Who fucking cares? Me and my friend have been playing it. It's been fun. It's just fucking like it's one of those games you can just pick up and you can just play it. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't need to think at all. And that's kind of the game I need in my life right now, is where I can just pick it up and I can play for 3 hours and then just be like, okay, that was something, you know.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, I get you.
Whereas I feel like Days Gone was trying to make me think, but what it was trying to make me think about was actually shit. So I couldn't be bothered. So hence I could have started playing Borderlands instead. That's just something about Days Gone, I'm sure. Is that I went and
Yeah.
played a fucking 8-year-old game instead of that. So, and I
I've
just want to shout
I've got.
out. Oh, sorry, you go
Well,
ahead.
go on. I was just gonna say I've got like one more news thing which I just think is insane.
Okay, we'll get to that in 2 secs. I'll just quickly shout out that I've also played over the last couple of weeks some Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat's fucking great. I don't know much about the fucking loot box controversy behind that because I don't play it to that level
yes.
because that's
No,
the
I
whole
heard
thing.
about this.
Yeah.
So I heard that basically like they hyped it up as having like no bullshit. You
Yeah,
know, like similar
yeah.
to how Borderlands 3 was announcing it, like no loot boxes, no microtransactions, none of that shit. And that the game was marketed like on that.
Yep.
And then they launched, and it was just like, boom, motherfuckers, loot boxes, let's go.
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, it's just they just fucking totally were lying, basically. And it's like, here you go, you can buy mods for your characters and stuff. And if you don't buy them, then you're gonna get fucking destroyed online and blah blah blah. And like, you know,
Oh
all
no.
this like in-game currency stuff and blah blah. Again, I haven't really played it to that level. I've kind of just played friends with like default settings and stuff, as if I was playing Mortal Kombat like back in the day. So I haven't really fallen into the bullshit yet to say that it's that bad or not so bad. But the game itself, the core game's great. Like, you know, if you ignore that and if you just playing it like locally, like say you come to my house, we were just playing Mortal Kombat, fucking great. Can't complain. But
Yeah,
I'm sure
fair
there's,
enough.
you know, the fucking loot box bullshit is there. But
Well, the
yeah.
people who get into fighting games really get into fighting
Oh,
games. Like
dude.
everyone I know who plays a fighting game, they're like the tits at it. Like they just get
Yeah.
really into it. And then you go to, you know, an event with them and they're like, hey man, I got like 18th place in the tournament, and they're really proud of themselves. And you're like, what the fuck are the rest of these people like?
Yeah. Exactly. Like, what the fuck are they?
So
I've
I can
got
understand why people are like passionately annoyed.
a friend of mine who I'm going to shout out, my friend fucking Jordan, is a disgusting player of Mortal Kombat, of any fighting game. I don't know how. He just has this like fucking innate fucking ability to be able to pick a fighting game up and just learn all the combos to like everyone.
Yeah, I've
Like,
always
how do
envied
you do
these
this?
people. So I felt like everyone was bad at fighting games
Yeah.
because I felt like growing up without an internet connection, you know, you're in a town and you know, like, you know, however many kids, and you play Mortal Kombat, and whoever owned the game was basically the one who got to play it the most, the one who was the best.
Yes.
But you still had a shot at beating them, like
Yeah.
occasionally. If you spent the afternoon at their house, you might get a couple of games from them.
That's
There wasn't
it.
a huge skill divide. So, and then you enter the big wide world, and you go to university or whatever, and there's a Super Smash Bros. Tournament on, and you're like, sick, Smash, love that game, let's play, I'm gonna kick your ass. And some guy is like fucking teleporting around the screen,
Yeah.
invulnerable to all damage, and you're like 3-stocked in seconds.
You know what's
You're,
legit? Your mentality on all this is exactly the same as me, because I just always
yeah, I
do the
just
same.
gave up.
I
I gave
literally
up.
just think back to when I was a kid and like we'd play Tekken, and like I was the kid who owned Tekken, so like people would come round and I used to think I was the fucking shit at Tekken, because like people would come over and I'd just fucking annihilate them, and I was like, oh, I am the shit at Tekken. You know, a lot of us had PSPs at school, and we'd like stand at school, and there was like two of us who owned Tekken, and we'd just stand and play Tekken at break time. And like, how many times can I say Tekken? But whatever. We'd stand and play that at lunch, and I'd just fucking kill people. Mainly because I'd be Eddie Gordo, and yes, I'm a fucking dirty piece of shit for using Eddie Gordo, because like, you know, he's scrub
I don't know
character.
what that means.
Eddie Gordo is basically the Kirby of the Tekken world. So
Kirby's great. You shut your mouth.
again, you're a man of my own heart, because I fucking love Kirby, and like people are like, oh, but he's not such a fucking, he's a character, and he just, but no, Kirby's great. Fuck
Kirby's the mark of a noob player, because he has like the clearest to understand abilities,
Yes.
and like most of Smash is not about using the abilities; it's just about like teching and smashing.
Yep.
And that's it. So like when you encounter a Kirby player, you're like, oh, you filthy casual! Like you're just gonna use abilities at me and be annoying, turn into a rock, and I'm gonna have to counter that. And it's like I just want to play someone good. I think that's where most of the Kirby hate comes from.
Definitely. But Eddie Gordo is that character, basically. But yeah. So basically,
Okay.
I love characters who are really easy. Who'd have thought? Fuck. I don't know where I was going with any of that now. Oh yeah, and I used to think I was the shit at Tekken, and then like you say, the internet became a thing, and people could play Tekken online, and then you go to university, and yeah, you just get your fucking head split, and it's like, oh great, I suck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You're like, why do I try anything?
yeah,
in my
why do I
life?
do anything? Like, I'm never going to be as good as these people, so maybe I should just like, I don't know, get drunk. Oh wait.
Yeah, end it now.
Oh wait.
So apparently this is old news I was going to bring up. Like
Oh.
really old, like last year, but I only learned about it recently. So apparently Venezuela's currency tanked so far in late 2017 that Venezuelans were starting to make a living by farming gold in RuneScape.
What?
Yeah, legit. So like there was cartels of Venezuelans in RuneScape gold farming. And they were ruining the economy of the game for people who wanted to play it, and because it's like global servers.
Yeah.
So there became this semi like racist attack on Venezuelans in the game, where people were trying to identify Venezuelans and botters and like lump them all into one group, and then deliberately go out in like squads and murder them.
Right.
Like, yeah. And I'm just reading about this now. Like, I stumbled across an article of it, and I was like, what the hell kind of dystopian online
Yeah, where
world
the
is
fuck?
RuneScape now?
This is like, you can't make that up. What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Like, the Kotaku article on it.
This also feels like a nod to another podcast that used to happen. With
With a lot of RuneScape.
yeah, exactly. Oh god, that's fucked up. What the fuck? This has been the day
Yeah.
of fucked up news. Even though that news is old news, but still,
Yeah.
this is news to me, so it's news. Fuck. Well,
Well
I
then.
guess. Wow.
So, what are you looking forward to playing soon? What are you gonna play before we next chat?
Where are we? Do you know what? I've got like no time before before our next chat. Actually, no. I do have time. So, just so people are clear as well, is this podcast isn't necessarily going to be weekly. We're going to be bi-weekly. Is that the right term?
No, bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly.
Bi-weekly is double.
Oh yeah.
Not
Oh
half.
shit. Oh god. I was about to say I'm bi. That's not true. Oh god, who am I? Yes, yeah, we're gonna be every other week basically. So yeah, no, we've got some time. Because I'm going on a stag do this weekend, just carrying on my drunken crusade. So
Very good.
yeah, so I'll be playing absolutely no video games between probably now and Monday. So, but before we next come back, I'll be playing. Oh god, what can't Rage 2? That's it. I was thinking there's a game out before we talk. Rage 2. I should have my hands on before we next talk. So I'll be
Very
playing
good.
that. That's obviously coming out. That's next week. That's out. So yeah, we'll definitely be playing that.
Yeah, that's getting some like tentative but good information behind it. Like people seem to be welcoming that because Rage 1 wasn't well
No, it
received, if I
wasn't.
remember correctly.
Yeah, when that game launched, it was real disappointing because again, that was another one where, like, in the lead up to it coming out, it was like, oh, it's the new id Tech game. You know, it's the first game since Doom 3. Blah 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 blah. And like, it looked great, and like a lot of the stuff that they were doing in it, like, had some fucking amazing ideas and stuff. But it just, I don't know, it just didn't. And it was really broken, if I remember, on launch as well. So it had a lot of issues and stuff like that, especially on PC.
Yeah.
And
Whereas now they've got Doom 15, 16? What was it?
16, yeah.
2016, yeah. Now they've got that under their belt. I think there's a little bit more confidence and
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, it's not just that. It's not actually id that have solely made the game. It's the dudes
Oh, right.
who did. I think they did Just Cause, and they did the Mad Max game. Is it Avalanche
Oh, cool.
Studios?
Maybe.
I'll double check
Let's have a look.
because we're real professional here and we know exactly what we're
Yeah.
talking about. Don't fucking tell us otherwise. Yes, they did do Just Cause. They did Just Cause and they did Mad Max, so they're used to like making
Yeah.
these crazy open
So it's
world games.
co-developed.
Yeah.
Co-developed by Avalanche and id
Yeah,
Software.
that's it.
And it's been published by Bethesda.
The old Bethesda owned id, so
Oh, okay, right, that makes sense. I was briefly worried that you'd be buying like armor for your car for 80 quid.
Fallout 76 or why?
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, no. One thing I am disappointed about though is that when it comes out, it's going to be well on I buy everything from cdkeys.com because it tends to be cheaper than buying from like Steam or whatever like that. So yeah, shout out to cdkeys.com. They're not going to give us any money.
Sponsored.
Whatevs.
We are unaffiliated with them, and I purchase everything legitimately through Steam.
Oh well, I don't because I'm a fuck boy. Yeah. Yeah. So no, this.
Just say you really like box art usually.
Oh fuck. Yeah. No. It's. Actually, I'm pretty sure it is on Steam. 90% sure it's on Steam. But the cdkeys.com fucking key that they're gonna give me is fucking for the Bethesda launcher, which is like yippee. So I'm gonna save £10 though and get the same game. So whatever.
Yeah, fair enough.
So why the fuck not?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be playing that. That'll probably be all I'll play though, because I won't lie, games like that I fall into hard. I love like fucking crazy, silly open world games. So,
Cool.
yeah. What you?
Well, take notes because you're gonna have to rant about that for like the entire session next time.
I will.
Or just like pay really close attention to the news world and like find some equally crazy shit going on.
I feel like next time I'm going to come way better prepared and with like some notes on some fucking wild shit. I'm going to find the most wild shit that I can in the news.
You're going to be like, so in 1985,
Mario was actually transgender. Did you know?
I wouldn't be
He
surprised.
could be. He might be now. Who knows? So yeah, what are you going to be talking about?
I've been looking forward to A Plague Tale: Innocence.
Plague Tale Innocence.
Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, have you seen that?
No.
A Plague Tale. This looks great. Like, look it up real quick.
I'm doing it. A Plague Tale Innocence. It is a
Yeah.
£39.99 game.
Yeah.
Oh, it
this
looks
is
like
true.
it has fancy graphics.
So
There's
it's
knights. Oh,
like, I don't know what to even say about this. Like, I've just seen a trailer and been like, this looks dope. Like, this looks so far up my alley.
oh, this is
Yeah,
a
I'm a
new
huge.
release as well, 13th of May.
Yeah. This is like next week it comes out.
Oh my.
But it's it's that gothic kind of look that I love. Like, I'm a massive Bloodborne fan, as you know.
Yep.
It's all
This has
set
got a
during the
real
play.
Hellblade-y fucking vibe to it as well.
Yeah, and this kind of story-driven game, I'm not sure what any of the mechanics are going to be like, but I love games that look like they're going to be this intense.
So yeah, this looks great. Oh fuck, I want to play this.
Yeah, I look forward to immersing myself in Black Death.
Yeah. Oh my god, that man just got an arrow through his eye. People can't see this. Go watch the trailer for this. This dude just got fucked up. Oh.
Did you ever play the Telltale series for like Game of Thrones?
I played The Walking Dead. I never played. Oh, well, actually, I started the Game of Thrones one and it fucking sucked. So I stopped
Yeah, it was
playing the
super
Game of Thrones one.
boring.
Yes.
But this looks like a good version of that almost. Like, obviously not without like Telltale's,
Yeah, but like
insane
actually
formula.
doing shit rather than pressing A and saying, no, I don't like what you've just said to me. Can you stop talking to me like that?
Yeah, and obviously
Yeah.
like rendered graphics, like properly nicely fleshed out stuff rather than just like we'll lean on the same art style 500 times.
Yes, exactly. It looks nice.
Rip,
It looks good.
rip Telltale.
Yeah, rip fucking bye. Yeah, that's another terrible story right there. That company. Jesus. Anyway, that's for another time. We can slack them off another time properly.
Yeah, I'll go into it properly. I need to play. Actually, that's one thing I might be playing. So I don't know if you do any mobile gaming, but I've been super into playing games on my phone. I've been working like an hour and a half away. Sorry. So I've had loads of time on the tube to play on my phone and less time to play games at home. So I've been playing The Room Old Sins, which if you ever played any of the Room games, they're amazing. Just go play them. And
I've heard of them, never played them.
just play them. Just do it. Get them on your phone. Done. But I've also got the Telltale Batman game.
Oh, I want to fucking play that. That was free on PlayStation a while back, and I've got it, and I've not played it.
Well,
I
you
love
can
Batman.
get the first episode for free on your phone, and then you can just conveniently play that whenever you're on a bus or whatever.
I'm weird though. Just going to the phone thing real quick. Like I don't play anything on my phone at all. I'm strange. I love games. I fucking love video games. I just can't play games on my phone though. I just get bored. I don't know why.
It's usually so for me. I have to have like my headphones plugged in and have the sound. Like I find it really difficult.
I'd be the same, but it's just like I don't know. I can't. I don't know. Strange.
Playing games on my phone without sound, I get bored really quickly. But I can actually immerse myself. Well, if I'm on the tube for an hour, I've got nothing better to do. And I also one of the games I was playing recently is like a Professor Layton game. Did you ever play that series?
No, I don't want to. I've always wanted to, but I just never have.
So you can get those now for your phone.
On Steam, aren't they? Oh,
yeah, they are.
That's Phoenix Wright, I think.
Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney just came out for
Ignore me.
Switch and for Steam, and I need to play those.
I was gonna say, ignore me. I'm getting Layton mixed up with Phoenix Wright. They came out at the same time on the DS. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I never had that generation of games. I didn't have a DS, so like, there's an entire generation of DS gaming I missed out on that is now coming out, like being re-released.
Well, yeah, they're re-releasing it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm probably next time we meet up, I'll have played hopefully Tales of the Neon Sea by then.
Yep.
A Plague Tale potentially that comes out like Tuesday next week, so we'll see if I have time like in that week.
Yep.
But definitely at least the first episode of the Telltale Batman as well.
Amazing.
Cool.
Loads of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd have played one whole video game probably by then. So
and I look forward to hearing detailed essays upon it.
I'm gonna speak for 30 minutes on the fine details of Rage 2. So I guess that's it for this week. I hope everybody like enjoyed this.
We did waffle on. Like, this has gone way over intended time.
I feel like it's been good conversation though, and maybe enjoyable to at least someone out there.
Yeah,
So
even if it's just cringy, like if you're just sat there being like, "Oh
yeah.
God," but
Oh
you're
God,
like, you're
what are
gonna
these?
you're getting off a bit on that. Like you're like, "Oh, give me
Yeah,
say
what
something
God.
inappropriate."
Say something about Quantic Dream again. Oh yes. So yeah, that wraps us up for this week. Thank you for listening. We've been that podcast. I am Az.
And I'm Nick. Sorry, yeah. Hi.
That was a cue. We didn't discuss this. I just dropped him in the shit there. It was great. Follow us on all social medias. We've got like everything. We've got Facebook. You can find us at AltDab Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at AltDab Prod. Couldn't even speak then. At AltDab Pod, not Prod, because that would be stupid. You can find us on Instagram as well at AltDab Podcast. So yeah, find us on all those things. You can find our personal Twitters from there and stuff like that as well. We'll have a YouTube channel. Well, we'll give you the link to that, but we can't have a personalized one yet. So
I need to make
yeah,
all of these social media accounts real quick.
yes. we have some.
No.
them.
I mean my personal ones.
Oh yeah, Nick is I was about to say personal media. Whatever. This is the end
I'm
of
a
the show.
Luddite.
So
That's it. Yeah, with social
yes,
media. I've got
we
one.
have stuff.
I have one social media, not the collection. I need more.
Well, when Nick collects them all, get it? Haha.
No.
Or catches them all, whatever. I fucked that up as well. Whatever.
Oh, we can talk about the new Pokemon game next week. Tune in.
Tune in, Pokemon. We talk about a film. Who cares? That's games.
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu. Oh my goodness.
Can't
We'll
wait.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll be back. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Boy. I don't think there's any point in going any further. I think these are all masterpieces.